Good morning, everyone. It's Leanne Boyd, and welcome this Tuesday morning to Fearlessly Free Women Facebook Live. And this morning, I'm going to talk to you about beating the anxiety monster. So many of us out there, and I am a past chronic anxiety and panic attack sufferer. There's so many women, men, children suffering panic attacks out there today in the world that I know how crippling that can be. So I wanted to come on today and just give some insight into my own experience and also some advice on what you can do next time you experience anxiety or panic attack. But most of all, I want you to realize that it's so much more common than you think. And yet you feel so alone when you have an anxiety or panic attack. It's like someone shining a huge spotlight on you, and you think everyone around you is watching, and you're having this really intense internal struggle, and you feel like your mind is racing, you feel dizzy, disorientated, lightheaded. Panic attacks, most people hide them, and you do yourself. You feel like you just want to run away, and you want to flee from that moment where you've got this such intense feeling in your gut, in your whole body. It can even cause you in the long run to have sleep disturbances. Your vision might even be disturbed. You feel like you're just breathing so fast, and you feel restless, and you might even be trembling. I know one of the signs I had when I had my panic attacks was my palms would go so sweaty. I would be getting around with tissues hidden in the palms of my hands so they wouldn't be dripping every time I touched something. So, you just want to run away from that moment, and you don't understand at that moment, why you're actually feeling that way. You just know that you're feeling so incredibly stressed. Even your legs feel like jelly. Your stomach just turns and wrenches. And I know one of the things I used to do to make myself feel better, and it was really out of my control whenever I felt like my panic attacks really came on when I was feeling stressed around situations, and particularly in restaurants. And I would feel like, because when you're in that flight mode of panic, your digestion actually shuts down. You don't need to eat. Back in the caveman days when they were fleeing monsters, if you're fleeing a situation, you don't need to eat. So that's how it used to manifest in me. I'd be in a situation, a beautiful, classy restaurant. One of the most profound moments I had a panic attack was when I was on my honeymoon. And here I was with my new husband in the middle of France, and there's a beautiful chateau, and we were the only guests there. So there was no one around to pass any judgment on me or anything. And the chateau, because they knew we were on a honeymoon, even kept back the staff, and we had the silver service chef and the waitress, and there was just us in the restaurant. It was the most magnificent moment. I had for entree asparagus and hollandaise sauce, one of my favourite meals, and it was served to me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the end, I looked at my husband, and we were just in full conversation. Next minute, this panic attack just hit me out of the blue, and I just knew that I had to excuse myself, because I didn't want him to know that I was having a panic attack. He never knew. No one knew. And most people keep panic attacks hidden. Most people don't want anybody to know that they're experiencing these sensations, both emotionally and physical. It's a very hidden thing for most people. But anyway, I got up and I went to excuse myself to the restroom, and I had to throw up, get rid of all that nervous tension out of my stomach. And then I came back, and then my husband Scott knew nothing about it. But then I just sat down and ate the rest of the meal, because all the nervous stress had dissipated. I got rid of it. And that's how it used to manifest for me. And I was had that experience over and over and over again, and it was so debilitating and impacted my life a lot. And I'm sure that if you are a chronic anxiety or panic attack person, that it's impacting your life too. And sometimes you may not have attacks, but just experience a really, really high level of unease and not sure what to do with that. So the good news is that this situation is not life-threatening, although sometimes you may feel like you're actually having a heart attack with your, the strain and the stress that you might feel when you have these anxiety attacks. But what you're experiencing is a combination of fearful thoughts and physical sensations, usually surrounding a period of stress, around a period of stress or a stressful situation, or something that you may feel, a situation that you all of a sudden might feel unsafe in. But the good news is you can beat it. I did. And you'll get better and better at beating it when it happens. But I want you to tell you, first of all, give you a little bit of background of how it works. So you're out there on any clear blue given day, and all of a sudden, as you know, if you suffer from this, you are just struck by an overwhelming sense of dread and almost feel terror. And it's almost unimaginable the way it rises up in your body. And your first instinct is to run. You want to just get out of that moment. You just want to move. But, you're not always able to do that. So what do? You even go into full panic mode. Your heart races. You feel faint. You feel like you want to throw up. And, you feel like shaky and trembly. And you think you're going crazy, actually. Because when you look around yourself, there's actually nothing to be fearful of. But, you've created this. You eventually, these feelings do dissipate. They do go away eventually. And then you just breathe out a sigh of relief and think, oh, thank goodness that's over. I can just get on with what I was doing. The trouble is now, once you've had a panic attack or two, your brain is wired for that. It's now on the lookout for another moment just like this. And it's looking out for it. So it's going to reach out and create that moment for you anytime. Because now you're worrying about the next time it might happen, right? Yeah? You're worried when it's going to strike again. You feel tense, even scared. Because now you're acutely aware of all the physical changes that happen. So you're on the lookout for them. When is it going to return? When is it going to come back? You've put your mind on absolute red alert for when this might strike again. So with your unconscious mind, the more you think about something, the more it's going to happen. That's how it works. What you think about, what you feel all the time constantly is what's going to keep recurring in your life. So now your mind's full of racing thoughts. You feel edgy. You feel irritable. And you even feel guilty about feeling this way because there's absolutely no reason to feel this way. And you tell yourself to snap out of it. What do I have to be frightened of? But you feel so unsafe in this world, and you can't explain why. It's just that your brain is now has got this thing going on, particularly between your brain and your gut, and they work together. And when your mind's on that alert, so is your stomach. Nervous tension, nervous excitement. Your digestion's not working as well as it is. You've got so much stress and tension in your life now because you're on that lookout for that next panic attack or that next anxiety or attack or feeling of intense unease. You now have a base of negative thoughts going around in your head, which add to the stressful situation. So with those racing thoughts, with those negative thoughts, with those physical sensations hitting you, then whammo, you've set yourself up for your next anxiety attack to happen. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight on what to do about that. Okay, so your anxiety is shaped by you and your thoughts. The first challenge is to understand that and to realize that you have actually created this anxiety monster. This terrifying thing that when it's in full flight, it grabs you and it impacts on your life and wreaks havoc in your life and on your body. So I want you to, next time it happens, you to stop for a few seconds. I want you to tune in. Notice your breathing. Notice your breathing at this time when you're having this panic attack. It's probably short, sharp, shallow breathing. It sits high in your chest. Okay? You are letting off, when this happens and you go, you are actually letting off too much carbon dioxide from your brain and from your body. It makes you feel weird and agitated. Okay? You are experiencing what they call hyperventilation. It's a chemical imbalance in your body. So now that you recognize that, now that you know that, so now I want you to, without lifting your shoulders up because that creates more tension in your body, place your hand on your abdomen, on your tummy, and take a big, slow breath until your abdomen expands out. Hold it in. The most important thing to do right now is to focus on your breathing. Focus on that slow breath going in and out and in and out. So, because what this does, it actually confuses your state of anxiety, that anxiety monster that seems to have you in its grip. It confuses it because what it does is, instead of putting you in full flight and full panic mode, the slow breath in and out, it relaxes your body. So you're doing the opposite of what your panic monster wants you to do. So now when you take that big, slow breath in, and let all the air out slowly. And breathe in and out. In and out. And just relax. And keep going. Keep doing that. Keep breathing in and out. Your monster, that little panic monster inside of you, wants you to be scared. But what you're actually doing when you slowly take notice of your breath and you're breathing in and out is you're actually relaxing. You're doing the opposite of what your mind and body in that panic state says that you need to do. So you're in fact ignoring your panic monster. You are busy restoring the balance in your body when you're slowly breathing in and out. You're returning those carbon dioxide levels to normal. And you're creating, giving yourself more oxygen. You're oxygenating your body, which naturally gives you a state of calm. So next time that panic comes on, I want you to do this. Say, okay, I know these sensations are coming on. This is going to be now my time to relax. Okay? Another thing you can do when you feel these states of panic coming on is to give your mind, your panic monster, an identity. So in your mind, create an identity. Call him Fred, Horace, whatever you want to do. Give him an identity and a shape and a figure and a form. Okay? And when you feel that anxiety coming in, just close your mind for a minute. Breathe in and picture yourself putting your little monster over there on this remote island out in the middle of nowhere. And there you are in your little boat, safely drifting past, leaving him behind, leaving him over on that island so he can't touch you, can't touch anything in your life again. So there's a couple of little tips on how to defeat your panic monster, how to beat it, how to get by it. And then you can just enjoy that relaxation time that you have. You know those sensations in your body when you feel them, you just go, okay, I'm just going to breathe through this. I'm just going to put my panic monster over there on my island. I'm just going to enjoy this slow, deep breathing and relax time. This is actually how I got through it. And I was a really bad chronic panic anxiety sufferer. When I gave my little panic monster an identity and realized that it was actually me that was causing this to myself with my own negative base of thoughts and racing thoughts, that I was actually creating this fright or flight panic mode within my body, then I started to actually take control of it. And I did so through my slow breathing and state of relaxation. You know, you can even create that moment. Go lay down. If you want to take it further, go lay down. Put on some relaxing music or a meditation. Beat the monster at its own game. We want you to do this, well, you do that. You just have relaxation on your mind. And if you're in a busy situation, an office situation or a work situation, it still doesn't matter. Just stop what you're doing. Just take a moment, close your eyes, just breathe in and relax. And it will all dissipate and it will all go away. So if you try these techniques and it's still there for you, please reach out to me, because it could be something a little bit deeper than you expected. It could be something that you've epigenetically inherited from past generations. It's deep-seated in your DNA that you inherited from your mother or your grandmother, that's come through your DNA whilst you were in the womb, because cells hold memory. And when your mother, or grandmother was stressed and they were pregnant, all of that stress and energy and negativity has been passed down through generations into your cells. It could be something there, and that's what I specialize in, epigenetic clearing of past negative emotions and negative emotions that really impact your life and stop you from living the life you want. So please reach out to me once you've tried these techniques, and we can have a little chat, and I can advise you on how we can go further and help you transform your life for positivity and change for the better. Once I post this video, then I'll put the little link down below and you can book in for a time with me, and I'm happy to have a no obligation chat with you about how we can take you forward and smooth your life out so you can go out and do exactly what you want whenever you want, with no trigger or no charge attached. So this is Leanne Boyd, and thank you for watching my Facebook Live video, and I'd love you to go out and have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Until next week. Bye.